shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs.
Hey, what's up, YouTube? This your boy Chris. I'm out on the Goldwing. Out on the DCT Honda Goldwing, trying to get my ride in. It's a nice day for a ride. It's a little bit warm out. Current air temp right now is 94 degrees. It feels toasty. So today I'm out on my Honda Goldwing DCT for a little ride. And today I want to talk about the parking brakes on the DCT Honda Goldwing. You know, the manual Honda Goldwing does not have parking brake, but if you have the DCT model, you have the parking brake. One of the things that happened to me here recently is that I was parked on an incline and I needed to get off of the bike. So I engaged my parking brake. But what happened? Well, I'm glad you asked. I ended up pulling off, and I forgot to disengage the parking brake. Now, the Honda Goldwing DCT has a brake light to let you know that your brakes are engaged down on your dash. Honda put a very small light down on the dash that'll let you know that you have your parking brakes engaged. Well, I pulled off, and I wasn't looking at my instrument cluster. And I end up pulling off with the parking brake engaged. And the bad part about it is that after about 25 miles of getting down the highway, running highway speeds, I realized that my parking brake was engaged after noticing the red light on my dash. So to make a long story short, I was hoping that it didn't grind down my brake pad. So after that experience, I parked on a hill. I engaged my parking brake, and the bike doesn't hold. So the bottom line, the moral of the story is that I pulled off, left the parking brake engaged, and I wore out my brake pad, the parking brake. Man, I sure hate that happened. You know, I've heard stories of guys pulling off and leaving their parking brake engaged, but it finally happened to me. You know, the thing about that DCT and the parking brake, I guess, is not a matter of if, it's when. Leave the parking brake engaged. So I wish Honda would have done a better job with that as far as setting that parking brake up, kind of like the DCT kickstand. Oh, I'm sorry, the Honda Goldwing kickstand. If you guys have the Honda Goldwing, the newer style, I know they have it on this DCT model, is that if the kickstand is down, you can't even put the bike in gear. You can't even engage the bike to go in the first gear if the kickstand is down. That's kind of like a failsafe that Honda used on this DCT model. And it actually works, because it's been a couple of times that I actually tried to pull off and I couldn't put the bike in gear. And after looking at my kickstand, I realized that it wasn't up. So that's a failsafe that Honda has on the new style Honda Goldwing. And I wish they would have put that on the parking brake. So Honda, if you're watching this video, I think it would be a good idea to not only just put a little red light on the dash, but to not even let the bike pull off if the parking brake is engaged. Don't even let the bike go into gear when the bike is running. Now, I think that if the bike is not running, and the parking brake is engaged, yeah, you should be able to put that bike in neutral and move the bike. You may have to roll it. But with the bike running, there should be some type of interlock that prevents the Honda Goldwing from going into gear if the parking brake is down. And that's just my opinion, because there's a lot of riders out there that pull it off with that emergency brake or with the parking brake engaged. And the thing about this Honda Goldwing is that it has no problem pulling. It's got a lot of power. So the little parking brake that's on this bike, it doesn't really hold. I mean, it'll hold the bike and park, but you can actually pull off with that thing engaged. You know, it's actually been my intention to get with Lewis that electrical connection and let Lewis put on one of his, I guess, devices that he set up to prevent a rider from driving off if the parking brake is engaged. But for the life of me, I don't know why Honda didn't do that from the factory. That shouldn't even be an aftermarket setup. Honda should have known better. As a fail-safe, just like with the kickstand. If the kickstand is down, you can't put the bike in gear. It should have been the same setup with the parking brake and the engine running. That's just my opinion. How many of you out there that's watching this video that has the new style Honda Goldwing, the DCT, how many of you have pulled off with your parking brake engaged? Be sure to put that down in the comment section below, because I know I'm not the only one. I've heard stories, I've heard cases about riders pulling off with the parking brake engaged, but it finally happened to me. The bad part, I was on the interstate running highway speeds, and I didn't realize it for 15 miles, 20 miles or so. When I finally got a chance to look underneath the rear of the Honda Goldwing, I realized that that brake pad is going all the way down on my parking brake. There's more work. I wasn't planning on doing any extra work anytime soon, but that's the thing about these motorcycles, man. They take a beating going down the highway. They require a lot of attention. And now I have to deal with a parking brake unnecessarily being worn because I failed to disengage the parking brake before I pulled off. So what do you guys think? Let me know if this actually happened to you on your Honda Goldwing. And does the manual Honda Goldwing, the new style, the 2018 or newer, does the manual have that, I'm going to call it an interlock switch? Do they have an interlock switch on the manual, on the kickstand, that will not allow you to maybe put the bike in first gear if the kickstand is down? But I'm wondering, does the manual, the new 2018 or newer Honda Goldwing, does it have that safety feature on the kickstand that will not let you put the bike in gear if the kickstand is down? Be sure to let me know. So I want you guys to chime in on this video and let me know if you had this issue pulling off with the parking brake engaged on your DCT. And also, does the manual Honda Goldwing, does it have the safety feature on the kickstand for the newer style Honda Goldwing? Let me know what you think. Drop a comment down in this comment section below. If you like this video, just click the like button. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is your boy Chris, out on the Goldwing. Out on the Goldwing. And I will talk to you guys later. Deuces.